Hi friends, it's Andrea Burley. We are going to be doing an Earth Day project. Happy Earth Day. Today we're going to do a 4-season tree. So for this project you're going to need 2 pieces of white paper. If you're good at circles or drawing at least a half circle, then that's fine. I'm going to use a bowl to trace my circle. And then you'll need scissors and glue. Okay, so 2 pieces of paper, pencil, something circular, scissors, glue. So there's a few more supplies for today. I'm going to show you the easiest way that I found to make the tree so it's symmetrical. This one I did definitely not symmetrical, and it's really uneven and wonky, and it was hard for me to glue. So what we're going to do is we're going to make one tree and then go from there. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera. Please grab 2 pieces of paper, pencil, circular, scissor, something circular, scissors, glue. Okay. Okay, so we have our paper. The tree I made is a half size. Okay, so I'm just going to take my paper and I'm going to fold it hamburger style, just like that. So I took 2 pieces of paper. I should have said that in the beginning. I took both my sheets of paper and I folded it down hamburger style. Okay, from there, we are going to draw. So there's 2, I think this was going to be the easiest, so you don't have to cut too much paper. So for this one, to get our good shape, is I'm going to trace my circle, just like this. And then I'm going to come down and I'm going to draw my tree trunk. So if you're just joining in, we have 2 sheets of paper and we're folding it in half. And from here, we're going to make our one tree and then make it into 4. So I just traced my circle and then I'm going to make my tree trunk. So my tree trunk, I'm just going to kind of come down at an angle. Can you see that? Or I'll draw it in black. So I'm just coming down at an angle. You can do a straight one too, that's okay. But I'm just going to come down. Now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut this out. So I'm actually going to cut all 4 trees together, okay? So this way you can glue them easier. So I'm just going to take and I'm going to cut around. So if you're just joining us and you're like super confused, just go ahead and make your one tree and then you can go back and watch the video again and pause it as you need, because I'm going to show you. I'm not going to do all the coloring for the tree today because I like you guys to kind of come up with your own, but I'm going to show you how you can do a way. So it is kind of tricky. You got to keep your pieces together as you cut. Okay, so here's my tree. Now, what you can do for the inside of your tree, you can make each tree different. So you can do different tree branches. I just did this one and I made like some wonky tree branches in here. But if you're like, that looks funny to me, and you want to do a different type of tree, then go ahead and do a different type of tree. So this is my spring tree. It goes to my summer, my fall, and then my winter, okay? And then when we glue it, it's gonna stand. So the way I did mine is I went ahead and I took one tree and I made my design, my tree branch design on it. So I'm going to show you how I did that. So it doesn't have to be, I mean, it's a tree. Trees are not perfect. So I just did some wonky branches like this. But like I said, if you want to do actual branches, that is totally fine. This one I just did this wonky thing in the middle. And then if you want it the exact same, you just take one of your other trees, put it over it, and go ahead and trace your shape underneath. But if you want to have a different tree, why don't you just go ahead and draw like some tree branches like this. So this is a different type of tree. So this is where your creativity comes in. So if you want something completely different than me, that is totally okay, okay? So for my 4 different trees, let me draw my other 2 trees for you. I'll go ahead and do 2 of this one and then 2 of the other one. So I'm actually going to kind of trace the first one I did as best I can. So they're kind of similar. I'm going to use this for my summer and my fall tree. And I'll show you why. Because my spring and winter tree are kind of different. So like I said, I'm just tracing my tree branches from underneath. So I kind of have some trees that look similar. Because even with tracing, you're going to be a little different. Okay. So let's do our spring tree first. So for my spring tree, I went ahead and did pink flowers. So I did a light green background and then pink flowers. So I'm going to do a quick draw because like I said before, you're probably going to want to pause and take your time coloring. Right now I'm just drawing yellow circles or yellow polka dots around on my paper, not necessarily on or even touching the tree. So I'm doing that with yellow, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to make my flower petals around it. And you can do different flowers. You can do, the easiest thing for flowers is you can do like ovals, oval polka dots. So this is one way to do a flower. If you just want to do a circle around it, you can do that too. This is your spring tree. So this is kind of how I did this one. And like I said, I'm going quick with my coloring. I normally do not color on my art videos because I like you guys to take the time, because I think my tree took me a good 45 minutes to color before. So there's no way I would make you guys sit there and watch me for 45 minutes on color. Okay, So that's my quick flowers. So I'll go back and I'll do light green on the background for the tree, and then I'll color in my big tree trunk in brown. Now for my summer tree, the reason why I thought the tree branch would be kind of fun is I'm going to do something different. So this is what I did for one. I just did green leaves all the way around, but since I added some tree branches, I'm going to go ahead and add some green leaves on my tree like this. So I don't make perfect leaves for my tree. Mine are kind of like oval shape leaves that are colored in. So something kind of quick just to fill in your tree. But like I said, you can do, I'll leave this one here in case you want to see it. So I just did big green leaves out. So you're just going to want to kind of fill it in. I don't know which tree I like better. I think this one's kind of fun just because it looks different. It's just a little bit more tedious. Can you imagine the flowers? The flowers I would have put on all the branches, which would be cool. Just more time. Okay, so that's kind of my summer tree, because summer have all, I feel like I need more green. Summer has green trees because all the flowers have kind of flown away in the wind. Okay, so this one is all green, and then you can do light green behind. So that's summer. Now for my fall tree, I'm going to do it just like my summer one, except I'm going to do orange leaves. So I'm going to use the same tree branch I did before, and you can add some red leaves in this, which would look super cool. Let me get a red marker. Is this one red? That one's pumpkin. So this one, you could definitely add in different colors for fall. So you could add in your yellow, your reds, even some green, some like lime green. So like I said, I'm just going super quick just to kind of give you an idea. I do recommend coloring your tree before you glue it. So I'm going to show you how you glue it here in a minute. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to add some red in here. And then since in the fall some leaves are normally falling, I'm just going to do some red in the background falling. Maybe a little bigger. So like this is your tree, okay? Does not need to look like mine at all. Okay, so here's my fall. So for my fall tree that I did before, like I said, I did bigger exaggerated petal or leaves falling, and then I did a yellow background. Now I'm trying to keep all these on the screen so people who are just tuning in can see. Now for our winter tree, I added snow on top of our branches. So you can use this type of tree, and then I would just recommend taking like a brown or a black marker and then adding your snow on top of the branches. I'm going to use the wonky tree I did before, and I'm just going to add snow clumps on the branches. Because once you color it, like once you color the background, it'll actually look like snow. I was surprised because when I first colored it, it definitely did not I mean, this just looks funny to me. It looks like teeth all over. But once I colored the background, I promise you it'll look like snow. And then for the background to make snow, my daughter taught me to just take blue, whatever background, and then just do circles. And then color around your circles for your snow. So I'm just going to do a lot of snow. And then I'll go back through and color the background. Okay. Now, this is where I want you to pause, put your pencil down, and just watch and see how I glue it. And then you can go back and do coloring. Okay? So from here, I want you to take your 4 trees and stack them up. And we're going to fold them in half. So this is why I want you to pause for just a minute. Take your tree, and it's kind of tricky because your tree trunk is kind of loosey-goosey. So kind of take the top over, and then kind of, you might need an adult to help fold because I can see my tree trunk already trying to want to rip on me. But if you get your top even, now the way we drew and cut our tree, we did not do our tree trunk symmetrical. Symmetrical means the same, okay? So the word symmetry is short for symmetrical. So from here, what I would recommend, so it's not tricky later after it's glued, is just go ahead and take your scissors and trim to make them completely even. And I'll show you why after, because after you trim it, you're going to want to glue it, and it's easier if they're even. Now, otherwise it'll be like what I did here, and it's harder to go back and trim after it's glued. So I'm just going to trim my tree trunk. So all 4 trees have a symmetrical tree trunk. Okay, so now I have my trees. They're all folded. Now this is where you're going to want to either pause the video and come back, or pause and watch. It is easier to color before you glue, okay? But I'm going to show you how to glue. So spring comes right before summer. So I'm going to glue these 2 pieces of the tree together. So I'm going to take my glue stick, and I'm going to go ahead and glue this side, put glue on this side, really slop it on there. Try to get the edges the best you can, otherwise it'll kind of peel up. So remember, I'm taking my spring tree and my summer tree, and I'm going to put them, match them up, and I'm going to glue them together. Then I'm going to fold and flip it. So now I have my summer tree, and the season after summer is fall. So now I'm going to stick some glue on my summer tree all the way down. Don't forget the tree trunk. And I'm going to take my fall, connect it to my summer, and I'm going to glue my 2 halves together. Just like that. Okay? So kind of smooth it in. Then, after fall comes winter. So I'm going to take my winter, put glue on my fall. If it's easier to put glue on your winter, go ahead and do that. So then I'm going to take my winter tree, match it up, put it together. So now all I have left is to glue my spring and my winter together. So now I'm going to finish putting glue on my tree trunks and on my winter and spring. I'm going to match them up, smush them together. So I can already tell that my tree trunk's all wonky, so I'm going to go back and probably trim that up. But here I have my 4-season tree for Earth Day. Look at that. So this would be a fun like centerpiece or something to go on your fireplace. But here I have my spring, my summer, my fall, and my winter. So these are 2 different looking trees. Obviously I colored my other one completely before, but this gives you an idea of what you can do. You can do the wonky tree branches, or you can do what we did just now and do different. Okay? So feel free to make these different, have some fun with it, have fun coloring, and enjoy your crafting day. See you soon.